Oh, United fans, how are you feeling? Hopefully this episode can cheer you up a little bit after that battering at Brentford yesterday. We're going to be facing Nice in the Champions League. It's the second leg, and then we've got Liverpool in the FA Cup. Maybe we can cheer you up, maybe we can do a little bit better. At least that is the plan in this rebuild. If we have a look at the results since you were last with me, we've played a few more games. We did have a 1-1 draw against Everton in the league. We've got a 1-0 lead against Nice going into the second leg. We've then got Brighton, West Ham, Burnley and Southampton all beaten in the Premier League, and West Ham was the FA Cup 5th round actually. And if we have a look at the league table, it means we're 5 points clear at the top. Liverpool and Man City both trailing behind us with 8 games to go. Hopefully that means we can clinch the Premier League. And now we just need to kind of focus on FA Cup, Champions League. Can we win those? That would be lovely. We're going to try and make steps towards that today against Liverpool. But first, we've got our match against Nice, and this is the team that's going to be starting for that one. We've got Donnarumma in goal, Mendes, Tomori, Fofana and Simican as our back four, Nianzou, Bellingham and Milankovic-Savic in midfield, Musiala, Lewandowski and Kluivert in front of them. The only problem is, for those of you who are wondering, oh, why is Kluivert starting? That's a bit of a weird one. In this one, Lorenzo Luca came in too late to be registered, or we couldn't register him. I don't actually know why we didn't. I think it might have been the maximum players you can change over and stuff like that, maybe. Moise Keane not registered, so we can't play either of them. So effectively, we are out without both of those strikers. Angelo is injured, can't play him up there. Rodrigo not registered, so we are, at least in the Champions League, pretty thin on the ground when it comes to this. We've kind of got a bit more squad depth in the other competitions, just not this one. This one, if we get to the final in this, we're going to have Kluivert and Lewandowski up front. Hopefully Cesc goes back by then. Otherwise, you know, it's not exactly the best strike force in the world. It's probably not the worst strike force in the world. Lewandowski's still there. Kluivert is very capable of scoring goals. I'd just much rather have a sort of out-and-out recognised striker in the form of Sesko, in the form of Moise Keane or Lorenzo Luca. Any of those guys, I'd probably prefer to have them over Kluivert, although like we said, he is normally very, very good. If you haven't already, please do. If you enjoyed today's episode, of course, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll slip that in there quickly before the first highlight. And then we'll get back to the actual footballing news, which is United losing 4-0 to Brentford. Now, I'm sure if you're watching this, you're quite possibly a Manchester United fan. But honestly, I have to ask, what is going on? I asked this last week after the loss against Brighton. I know people are always in football going to go, it's the manager's fault. But this was happening the end of last season. Ten Hag wasn't there. Ten Hag is there, and it's still happening. What the heck is going on? Is it transfers? Is this just a case of pretty much? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. It kind of feels at this point, you almost need a season like this season, let's say, where you're like, it's fun. We don't expect to win anything. Whatever happens, happens. We're going to literally sell pretty much every player. Maybe you keep a couple. Maybe you want to keep De Gea. Maybe you want to keep Varane. I don't know. But you sell basically everyone, and you buy in what you can. Or if you can't buy for a position, you promote youth. So maybe you can't find a fantastic attacking left winger, but you can promote Hannibal. You know, something like that. It kind of feels like it's got to that point now where it's like the current crop of players, I don't think it matters what manager you bring in. It's maybe it's a desire to play for the club. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe at this point, I mean, that today isn't, or yesterday isn't going to have helped by any stretch of the imagination. I think getting battered 4-0 by Brentford, not really going to help your confidence. You go out to your next match, and your next match, if I remember rightly, at Manchester United is Liverpool in nine days' time. More or less 8 days' time now. It's weird recording at this point. I'm recording on Saturday night, of course, so my timing's a little bit out. But, you know, at what point is it going to knock your confidence so severely that you can never, ever pick these players back up? Kluivert is through on goal. Kluivert has chipped it, and Kluivert has put it in the back of the net. Maybe you guys need to buy Justin Kluivert. Is he available in real life? I assume he probably is for the right price. We paid what, like under £10 million for Kluivert? He's a fantastic squad player for under £10 million. For all my start of this video saying I'd prefer to have Sesko or Moise Kean or anyone that was a recognised striker, Kluivert does, you know, he's very, very good at scoring a goal when you need him to. And Nice here with a shot on goal, but that one is going to go flying over. We're going to return our attention to the game. They are, of course, 2-0 up, as we can see. So we probably are getting into the next round of Champions League. I'm covering up a highlight. Nice have got a corner. That one's been cleared. As far as Anthony Martial, if you remember him from the start of this series, we sold him very, very quickly. He was out the door as soon as we could physically get him out the door. Kennedy has just put one in the back of the net, but it does look like that might have been offside. We'll see what the referee thinks. I think that looked a little bit offside, but it's really, really hard to tell. Because yeah, it wasn't offside, apparently. It's quite hard to tell because you can't necessarily look everywhere all at the same time. That's why VAR exists, not that it's always very good. That still looks fractionally offside to me, even with that replay. But whatever, it's not like we can change it. There's no point really looking at it that hard. Simicon should be off now because I've just said yes, please do make that substitution anyway. But that hasn't happened, so we're going to take him off and bring on Dalot. And Lewandowski, in all honesty, is not playing that well, so I'd normally do this. But we don't have anyone to put on instead. So instead, we're not going to do that. We're going to take Jadon Sancho. Can Jadon Sancho play up front? Not really. We're not going to play Jadon Sancho. We're going to bring Jadon Sancho in for Musiala and give Musiala a little bit of a rest. He's got to play against Liverpool in a few days' time. We probably want him to have a good set of fresh legs for that one, if we can do that. Bellingham's looking pretty tired, as is Milankovic-Savic. I think we take Milankovic-Savic off. We bring on Ward-Prowse. That's our third and final substitution. And we try and see out the last 15 minutes or so of this game. We have got a free kick and Ward-Prowse is on the field, so of course it is going to be him taking it. That one's been cleared. As far as Sancho has gone for the spectacular and spectacularly messed it up. It's gone wide. Never mind. It's a ball forward here for Nice. Dalot, the man to gather that one up though, so it's a bit of a wasteful ball forward from then. Sancho, Lewandowski, Kluivert again, back to Lewandowski. It's fallen to Mendes. Mendes is through on goal, and it is the softest shot I have ever seen. That never ever going to trouble the goalkeeper, really, was it? Never mind. Kluivert here gathering that one off the throw-in. Lewandowski once again all involved in every attack we have. We're going to sorely miss him next season, I think. And Bellingham has just been brought down in the box. It is going to be a VAR check to determine whether or not that was a foul, whether or not Bellingham is a diving git. He is not, apparently. Bellingham's not a diving git. It is actually a penalty, and it is going to be that man Lewandowski taking that one. If he scores this, he does not score this. Never mind. I was going to say that if he scores this, then hopefully I'll have a bit of a better rating than 6.6. Instead of that, he misses the penalty. The penalty would been really good to score because we only have a 1-goal lead. I would have liked a second goal there to give us a bit of breathing room as we try and advance in this Champions League. But never mind. Kluivert through on goal. Kluivert can't get that one on target either. This feels like we're just giving Nice here the opportunity to come back into this game. There's only so many times you can miss chances. I am really sorry for hitting my microphone then. That probably is a horrible sound. I'm sure I'll see that. Or editing James will see that later and be very, very annoyed with present James. Bellingham here over to Ward-Prowse. Back to Nianzou. If we just keep the ball here, see, there's no need for that ball forward. It's a good ball forward if it's pinpoint accuracy and Kluivert gets to it. But instead, we lost possession. Kluivert again. Back into Sancho. Sancho for on goal. Sancho has put the ball in the back of the net. Once again, we're going to VAR because every single goal we score does have to get VAR checked. It's basically the law in these parts. And it does mean we are now 2-1 up against Nice. It's a good goal, to be fair. It's to Lewandowski to hold that one up for Kluivert. For him to go wide, hold that one up. Pass to Sancho. It's really, really simple football. It's really, really effective. That we've played like straight through the middle there, which is kind of what we want with a diamond sort of 4-4-2. Really, we want to be going through the middle. Out wide, not quite as useful. It's doable. It's not quite as useful. So, all in all, though, that's very good. We are going to be advancing. Hopefully, in this video, we'll get the Champions League. What will that be? Will it be Champions League quarterfinal? I don't know. Champions League quarterfinal. Hopefully, we get the quarterfinal. We should get the semi-final draw as well. You can see here as well, there's some really good youth candidates at Manchester. Angus Gibson, Australian deep-lying playmaker. The best of those. Fantastic stuff. He looks like a good prospect for the future. Have Manchester United in real life got any players like this? Because maybe they should start putting some of them in the team and getting rid of the likes of McTominay. Anyway, with that, over to the Liverpool match. But before we get to that Liverpool match, we have got the draws for the quarterfinal and the semi-final in the Champions League. We've got Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, PSG, Borussia Dortmund, Liverpool, ourselves, and Real Madrid. That is quite a difficult pot, if we're honest. I mean, there's no teams in there that you're kind of like, oh yeah, they're an easy draw. Manchester City then are going to be at home to Manchester United. Oh, we have got a Manchester derby in the quarterfinal. I am looking forward to that already. Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, PSG, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid, Liverpool. And now, of course, we can find out straight away, should we beat Manchester City, who we're going to be facing in the semi-final. And it will either be Real Madrid or Liverpool. PSG or Bayern Munich will be facing Barcelona or Borussia Dortmund. There is no easy run in this Champions League journey. Let's have a look. See, so we've got the quarter-final, we've got a match against Leeds, and then we'll be straight back on Monday's episode for that match against Manchester City. I'd assume we're probably going to go Manchester City, and just do both legs. Kind of depends what we do in this FA Cup quarter-final, I guess. And the team we're going to be using to face at Liverpool is as follows. We got Donnarumma in goal, Mendes, Upamecano, Tomori, and Dalot as our back four. Tonali, Ward-Prowse, and Milankovic-Savic starting midfield with Fernandes, Lewandowski, and Keane up front. I say that we're not having Fernandes, we're having Musiala. Do you know why? Because Musiala is one of my signings. Fernandes, he's not. He's current Manchester United. I don't feel safe using current Manchester United players if I can help it. In fact, are there any current Manchester United players in my team now? In my starting lineup today, Dalot. I was trying to read through my team there. Is that it? Is Dalot the only remaining survivor at this point? Donnarumma, obviously mine. Dalot is current Manchester United. He started against Brentford yesterday. Tomori, Upamecano, Mendes, Tonali, Milankovic-Savic, Ward-Prowse, Musiala, Keane, and Lewandowski. Yeah, Dalot is the only remaining survivor. He's the only one who's been good enough to still be in the team. Fair enough. I mean, we could just get rid of Dalot. I guess we could get rid of Dalot. We could get rid of Fernandes. We could just have a completely clean slate. Dean Henderson would have to go. We'll just end the series and we'll have like no Manchester United players at all that are left. It would just be a completely rebuilt Manchester United at that point. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. Is that something you'd actually like? Of course, when we hit the end of this series, I do upload the save files onto my Patreon. So if you are a Patreon member, you can download this save file and you can continue from wherever I leave off and continue with this Manchester side. A Manchester side that has just won a penalty, or at least a VAR check for a penalty. And it has been awarded. Now, if Lewandowski could score this one, unlike what he did against Nice, it would be really useful. Like, really useful. He's stepping up confidently. He's feeling it. And it is in the back of the net. So lovely stuff. 19th goal of the season. Nowhere near the figures he was pulling in last season. I don't think he's going to either. But that's fine. I think he's kind of on his way out the door. Maybe he's like, you know, I want to leave now. Maybe, you know, I don't know what it is. But he's not scoring as many. It's fine. We've got some backups now. We've got Keane. We've got Sesko. Once Sesko's fit, I'm very tempted to like drop Lewandowski completely and just use Sesko instead, because Lewandowski's leaving and Sesko isn't. So I don't know. I'll have a think about it when it happens. If Sesko can come in and score goals at a decent rate, then yeah, absolutely fine. Milankovic-Savic there with a opportunity to put a second in the back of the net, but it's 2-0 up, but does miss for that one. I'm a little worried looking down at the pitch. Mendes is looking quite tired already, as is Tomori. I don't want to be making these substitutions too early, but equally, I don't want to let my players get too tired and then either become injured or, you know, start conceding goals, because either of those are a very good thing. Mendes is looking really tired down there. We have got to 60 minutes, so I guess it's not too bad. Mendes, my man, if we take you off, oh, bugger. The problem is you can't fit as many players on with a bench of 7. Can Nianzou do all right on that side? He can't, but Dalot can, if I remember rightly. So Dalot can go on that side. And Nianzou can come in on the opposite side. Actually, Nianzou's not who I wanted to do. For all of you screaming, that's not what I was thinking. No, I wasn't thinking of Nianzou. Here we go. Look, we're going to sort all of this out. We're going to do this. Yeah, this is horrible, but it's best case scenario with no left back on the bench. Never mind. Whoopsie. It's all good. Ward-Prowse goes to right back. It works. He's perfectly capable there. It's not, I wouldn't start him there, but he's perfectly capable to come in and fill a gap when we need him to. Dalot, Tonali, Dalot now over on the left. Liverpool are confused because they're still trying to track him on the right. He's now running down the left of the pitch. They're like, he's a right back. What's going on? Salah's having a field day because he's seen the right back over on the left. And he's like, yes, please. Yeremy Pino with a great shot there. But Donnarumma is more than equal to it. Thank you very much. Ward-Prowse has already got a yellow card. We've put him in defence for 5 minutes and he started breaking people's legs. What a lad, what a legend. And we need to make a couple more substitutions. Realistically, Ward-Prowse should be one of them, but as we mentioned, we don't have anyone to replace him with. Fofana can come on. Oh Jesus, we do have someone to put on. Simican. Oh, I've messed these substitutions up something royally. I mean, because I wanted to bring Simican on. I think I pressed Nianzou by mistake and basically burnt the substitution because I confirmed it. So I chucked Ward-Prowse. I was like, I must not have Simican on the bench. I must have just missed him. We've just murdered Diogo Jota. But apparently it's fine. It's not fine. The referee's called Dalot over. We don't like this. Oh, no. Oh, no. So now, just to confirm, we really have no left back. Like, we had no left back before, but now we really have no left back. Like, none at all. And I think we kind of need to do that. So at least we have, like, some sort of cover. And we're just going to drop to balance. We're going to ask the team to focus and just, you know, get through the next 3 or 4 minutes. And it's fine. That doesn't matter. That red card doesn't matter. It's fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting defensive display there. Both from the United players and from me just being incapable of making a substitution. We're just going to appeal against the ban because I want to appeal against the ban. Anyway, it does mean we're going to be into the semi-final of the FA Cup. Do we know who our opponent is yet? We do not. Let me see if I can go find out quickly. Well, it doesn't seem like I'll be able to find out quickly. So my thought process is this. I'm going to come back in tomorrow's episode. We'll have the second leg against Manchester City and we'll have the FA Cup semi-final. Hopefully we win both of them and we continue with you to win in a quadruple. That would be lovely. Much better than real life. If you have enjoyed today's episode, maybe it's cheered you up a bit, please do drop a like down below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, though, guys, thank you very much for watching. Check out the video that's on screen now, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.